This is Francesca Evans from LymeOnline, bringing you a roundup of this week's top stories from the Lyme Regis area. A 90-year-old local man has died following a hit-and-run incident in Charmouth on Thursday evening. Police and the ambulance service were called to reports of a collision involving a pedestrian and a car at the junction of the street and Lower Sea Lane. It was reported that the driver of the car failed to stop at the scene. Despite the best efforts of members of the public, officers and paramedics, the pedestrian, a 90-year-old man, died at the scene. A local man, aged in his 40s, has been arrested on suspicion of driving offences and is assisting officers with their inquiries. Police have appealed for more information from witnesses or anyone who may have captured the incident on a dash cam. A major fire broke out at the popular Roosden Village Bakery on Tuesday morning. Fire crews from across the area were called to the scene at 8:40 a.m. with up to 10 engines attending. One person who was inside the bakery managed to escape unharmed before fire crews arrived. The A3052 was closed for several hours to allow emergency services to deal with the incident. The bakery is expected to be closed for 5 weeks. The fire also affected adjoining garage workshop and 2 flats above. Cheryl Reynolds will return to the council chamber in Lyme Regis after standing for election uncontested. Mrs Reynolds previously served for 5 years on Lyme Regis Town Council. She resigned last year, just a week after being re-elected in the May 2019 local elections. She said that one of the reasons for her resignation was ill health from which she has now recovered. Former Deputy Mayor Jeff Scowen resigned from the council in December to move to North Wales, and Mrs Reynolds now takes his seat after it was announced last Friday that she had stood uncontested. Emergency services were called out this week after a man fell off the high wall of the Cobb in Lyme Regis into the water. Coast Guards and the lifeboat crew were called to assist 65-year-old David Crabtree from Sidmouth. He had been walking his dog when he slipped and fell off the high wall into the shallow water and was picked up by 2 paddleboarders and taken to shore at Monmouth Beach. Mr Crabtree received treatment at Lyme Regis Lifeboat Station. While this incident was unfolding, a second person slipped on the high wall and fell onto the harbour wall below. The second casualty was attended to by the ambulance crew and Coast Guards and later taken to Dorset County Hospital with severe back pain. The lifeboat crew, Coast Guards and Harbour Master have warned of particularly slippery conditions on the high wall of the Cobb due to a large amount of algae. Following a short reopening, Bridge Street in Lyme Regis has closed again for a further 4 weeks. Having recently been closed for maintenance work to buildings, it is now shut to allow gas works to be carried out. The work is expected to be completed by February 15th. This will affect bus routes and timetables, but pedestrian access to shops and businesses remains open. In local sport, Lyme Regis Football Club first team will be looking to regain some pride when they make their long journey to Hatherley in North Devon on Saturday, following their recent 3-2 defeat at the University of Exeter Seconds. The defeat against the young uni side saw the Seasiders drop to 3rd place in the Devon and Exeter Premier Division. Lyme Reserves are hovering dangerously close to the relegation zone in Division 3 and face a mountain to climb when they entertain league leaders North Taunton at the Davy Fort on Saturday, with kick-off at 2:15 p.m. The big success story at the Davy Fort this season has been the performance of Lyme's third 11, the Rovers. They were the only team to play last week, beating Netherbury 5-1. The Rovers are pushing hard for promotion from Division 2 of the Perry Street League, having gone up from Division 3 last season. They are currently lying in 3rd place behind leaders Coombe St Nicholas Reserves and 2nd place Dowlish Wake and Donyat, but they have 2 games in hand on both. Tomorrow they are away to Ilminster Town A, who are in 7th place in the table. With the England Test team performing so well in South Africa, local cricket fans are looking forward to the coming season. Lyme and Lyme Regis will soon start nets and are looking forward to meeting their new overseas player, Jason Bavacua, a top order batsman and off-spinner who will be travelling over from Australia, where he plays for Lyme's twin club, Deepdene Bears, in Melbourne. This is Francesca Evans from LymeOnline, wishing you another great week in Lyme Regis.